First off, can you update us on your status and duty?
Right now, I just recently got released to full-time hours, but I'm still on modified duty. I'm not back to full duty. That is still one of my goals, and we're waiting to see if that's going to happen.
When was the first day you put your uniform back on, and how did that feel?
I'm still not in uniform yet, no modified duty yet. So,
Can you tell me when that started, though?
I started back in November.
Okay.
I started back on like a part-time basis, and then just last Monday, I got released 40 hours a week working full-time.
And then what is modified duty, and even with that, how did it feel to come back?
I mean, it's good. I mean, it's good for my mental health just to get out of the house. I mean, it was a long time coming just so I was physically capable of even commuting to the office and doing that. So right now I'm doing a lot of office work and supporting detectives the best I can. So.
That's awesome. Well, more questions about that in a minute, but let's hopscotch to next week. Tell me what's happening with TVF&R.
So we're providing a few patrol cars to TVF&R so they can train on them and learn how to use them, because a big issue that arose from my incident was they've never had to extricate a police officer out of basically a steel cage, because when we're in the driver's seat, we've got a steel cage behind us, reinforced doors, and then when there's massive intrusion into that front compartment where I was sitting, it made it really difficult for them to use their tools to remove me from the car.
Gotcha. Tell me how this idea came up then.
I think this was an idea very early on that I heard about from our command staff here at the Sheriff's Office, and I'm sure the firefighters over at TVF&R probably also reached out with interest just to be able to get that training and experience so they can continue to provide that high level of care that they do at TVF&R, and just try to make it more of a known process versus that night they went into it not knowing how they were going to get me out the car.
Looking back on that and what they didn't know, I mean, how does that hit you now?
I still think that they fell back on their training and experience that they have, and it's no doubt that the speed at which they were able to get on scene and start providing me care, and just their extensive knowledge on scene is 100% what saved my life that night. So I just think that providing them these cars can help them even excel further in their training and experience going forward. If it, God forbid, an incident like this ever happened again, and they had to extricate a police officer from a vehicle. And I'm hoping this will kind of set a standard nationally where people, like more fire departments all over the nation, can realize, hey, we don't have experience pulling police officers out of these cars when they're in horrific crashes, and just maybe get that training experience pushed out.
When you're driving and you see a patrol vehicle now, and you see the driver there, what goes through your mind?
I haven't really given it much thought, to be honest. It hasn't really yet, like I said, I'm still on modified duty, so I think the reality of me ever potentially being back in a patrol car and doing it hasn't really set in. So it's just something, try to take everything a day at a time and deal with the problems I have in front of me now, and haven't given that much thought.
What are your challenges right now, physically?
So the biggest lasting thing is I received a lot of damage to my sciatic nerve on the left side from the impact, which left me very minimal function of my left foot and decreased function of my left leg, which was a hindrance of you'll likely never go back to full duty because you're not going to have that function of your leg. Just a few months ago, I found Ryan, who created an exosim brace for the military, and I was able to get that brace and do training on it, and it basically allows me to function my lower leg by using my upper leg and my core to get, eventually, we're still working on it, it's still new, theoretically the same level of function I had prior to the crash, like running, walking, movement-wise. Obviously, it's not going to regain the function of my foot and my lower leg.
And what are your realistic goals now?
Get released to full duty is kind of like the hurdle I'm trying to jump through right now. There were times where I doubted if I could do it. Now I'm 100% certain that, going a few more months, a few more training on this brace, and there's no doubt in my mind that I can function at the same level, required before and now going forward to perform my duties as a deputy here.
Anything you want to say to the folks over at TVF&R?
Well, I appreciate them saving my life. I know I've had that conversation with them numerous times. Like I said, if they weren't there as quickly as they were and able to provide that advanced care right there on scene, like I wouldn't be here telling the story right now. So they were the beginning of the critical care I needed to survive, which obviously went forward as I went to the hospital, and that was a huge factor. But just the early hours of their intervention made a huge difference.
Yeah, it's crazy. Can you kind of give me some background on what the actual donation is? Who will be paying for the vehicles going there?
I'm probably the wrong person to ask
Okay.
that question. Yeah, I don't know the details of that.
Okay, should I check with you a minute on that?
I think we'll probably hit that on Monday.
Okay, gotcha. And then, Deputy, I know this is, I've seen interviews with you before, and you've mentioned your family, and what a critical part they've been in your recovery.
Right.
Can you kind of update me on how they've helped you along as well?
Yeah, so I mean, my wife took over a year and a half off of work just to care for me. There was probably about a year of it where, I mean, I required 24/7 care, and she had to be there for me. So she put a huge pause on her career to help take care of me, and she's recently just gone back to work, and we're seeing how that all functions. And obviously, my goal is to get released back to full time, but I know that's a huge stressor on her with me going back to work.
How old is your son now?
He's 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
is he excited to see you go back?
I mean, he's one of my biggest motivators because he's super excited that Daddy's a police officer, and that's all he wants to talk about. So.
That's awesome. Is there anything I didn't ask that you want to share?
I don't think so.
And I know that the press release said, preference to one person asking questions, but is it okay if we see if I didn't cover
If anyone
anything, guys?
has a question, I'm willing to answer.
There's kind of one, maybe it's two.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, quite a lot of milestones for you in this recovery. The gift of the vehicle is one. Being in front before cameras, that's another. I mean, how are you marking times? Is it going well?
I know there's huge milestones that other people see, like looking out. My doctor even sees them when I see him once a month. But it's sometimes hard to see the progress sometimes 'cause I'm living it every day. But I can look back on times like I could barely sit for an hour just 6 months ago, and now I'm in the office working full time. And just being able to run now is massive because being told I would never hardly walk again or run. So there's been huge milestones, but sometimes the lines get blurred when you're living it every day.
Thank you.
You mentioned Ryan and the EXO
Mm-hmm.
brace. Is there a last name and anything you could provide to us to sort of show us that brace a little bit more?
Yeah, so his name's Ryan. Hopefully I don't say his last name, or Ryan Blank. He works for the Hanger Clinic, which is a national company, but his clinic specifically is in Gig Harbor, Washington. It's the only place to get this brace, and kind of like the down and dirty of the brace is it's kind of like it bridges the gap between normal AFO for someone that has drop foot or something, and a prosthetic limb, similar to like the bladed limbs you would see where amputees are able to run again. So it kind of crosses that bridge where you get to keep your leg, but you get kind of the benefits of a prosthetic limb.
Are you wearing it now?
I am.
Would you be comfortable showing us?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you so much.
So this is it in all of its glory. I have another section too that comes way up on my thigh that I can wear when, like snaps into this brace that I can wear when I'm doing more athletic things. Like I've been playing basketball again with my son. I just snap that in and I'm able to play basketball with him. So.
That's really cool.
Leave your pant leg up first.
Yeah.
Because we're all going to get shots of that. So
Okay.
just leave it up.
Sure.
Okay, Betty.
Kind of like a bionic limb
A little bit. RoboCop.
Is it kind of spring loaded?
So it does have, it has a couple shocks in the back, so I don't know all the science behind it like Ryan would, but basically it allows me to use the energy in my upper leg and core, transfer it through those to help that forward momentum.
What's it called?
It's called the ExoSim.
Awesome. Basketball, that's wild.
Yeah, it's something I never imagined I would do again with my son, so it's been awesome.